as an employee, I never worked as an employee. I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I never worked in any of the organization that typically kind of a 9 to 5 job and you do what you've been asked to do.
So I always wanted to ask you, why fire consultancy? And for the businesses you could go for, why did you choose this?
Being a production engineer, being a mechanical engineer, working on a shop floor is not something that it resonates with my DNA. I always wake up with a clear conviction and that purpose that behind starting this EastCorp group, that made you wake up, and that's the resilience. It was my very cautious decision to continue my passion into fire, and that's how we started the consulting organization EastCorp Group in 2013.
So what values do you hope your team remembers you for?
It is my always attempt that as a leader you are going to produce more leaders.
Every big dream has humble beginnings. Imagine starting out in a 300 square feet office with a little more than determination and turning that vision into a company that now has multiple businesses with multiple locations and 12 years of impact. Today, we are celebrating EastCorp Group. It's not just a milestone, but the journey of grit, growth, and purpose. Hi, I am Mastha.
And I am Rigveda. With us, we have the founder and CEO of EastCorp Group, Mr. Hemant Khadse. And today, we are going to have an open and candid conversation with him and learning about his 12 years of entrepreneurial journey. So, Mr. Hemant, October 2013 and October 25, how do you feel now?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here, and it's my first podcast with a junior person like you. I remember 8th Foundation Day, we also had similar occasion and we celebrated our Foundation Day with an YouTube live. It was a great experience, and then after that, a gap of 4 years, we are doing this podcast. So I'm really excited to have this podcast to express my feelings. Time just flies, and I never knew that 12 years have been just passed. I still feel that we are still new. We have just started the business, and we are growing. But if you ask me precisely, it's really a sense of a fulfillment. The mission that we had in starting our EastCorp Group in 2013, it's really shaping up very, very well. And with God's grace, I'm sure we will achieve what we want to achieve in near term. But all I can say is that it's been a great feeling. It's been a great day, and I'm sure we will have a long way to go.
Thank you so much for sharing. Would you say that you have achieved everything that you have dreamed of?
Every ceiling, when you achieve it, becomes a floor.
Yeah.
That is how probably I can see that in 2025, when I look back, as I mentioned, I still have a feeling of a fulfillment, but it doesn't stop me there. That's always a comma for me, and a person of my nature is never satisfied with my performance, with my growth. I always see a ray of hope, a ray of improvement, and that's how probably I can see that we still have a long way to go. We have achieved in terms of creating systems in our organization, putting people in place, getting customer data base, having geographical base in India and outside. All we have achieved, but I think we still have a lot of opportunity exists for us to grow and improve upon, and we have a very, very sound plan in place to make sure that we are going to achieve what we want to achieve. So to answer your questions, I don't think so. I'm happy, or I feel that I'm satisfied today where I am. I still feel that I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, but we still have to achieve a better way that we want to achieve.
I think your journey must have had a lot of ups and downs, I'm sure. Have you ever felt that you wanted to give up? or you felt that you were questioning yourself? Was there any moment?
So, I mean, I'm glad that I'm talking to young entrepreneurs like you. It is always a case that entrepreneurial journey has never been a smooth journey. And we all know that in India, more than 50% businesses gets collapsed in first 18 months. That's a history. That's a statistics that we have in India. However, when your mission and goal is very clear, or I would say the purpose that behind starting your business is clear, then that journey doesn't stop you. In the beginning, I have had a lot of hassles, like for any entrepreneur, and it is not a easy journey to begin, because I never have kind of an entrepreneurial background per se. I've been working in various industries and various organizations for first 20 years. And as an employee, I never worked as an employee. I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I never worked in any of the organization that typically kind of a 9 to 5 job, and you do what you've been asked to do and you close the day. That's not my nature, and that's not been my journey in the first 20 years of employee period. So when I started in 2013, it was absolutely ground zero level, no customer base, no partner, no I would say family background, no investment, no capital. So giving up was very easy for me. In fact, had I been, my mission was not so clear. I had tough time in getting people on board in the first years of time. That was my really frustration, where a lot of people were talking to me and advising me that you are in wrong mode. You should have been successful in working with any of the MNCs organization as a director, as a leader. So when we had a lot of hiccups, when you don't get people, when you don't get customer, when you don't get fees what you wanted to get to survive your business in the first initial years, and that too you are being challenged in the industry that you are not a consultant, so how do you accept you as a consultant? So many occasions I have had in the beginning that it would have been that is enough, let's wind it up and go back to square. But when I wake up, I always wake up with a clear conviction and that purpose that behind starting this EastCorp group, that made you wake up, and that's a resilience. And I've seen in COVID, and I always give the example, if your business thrives in COVID, you can probably survive or grow in any of the industry or any of the recession or any of the period. So we have been always focused because of our purpose, because of our mission and conviction that we have, that we want to make a difference in the society. We want to make a difference in the community that we are working. We want to make a difference in the employees that we have been working with us. And that is what we never have a feeling of giving up. We always have a feeling of how can I grow? How can we excel? How can you make it better than yesterday?
So, as you said, you have gone through failures, but you never felt like giving up. So, before all of this, you must have thought that you have a dream, but you exactly didn't know what it was. So, I always wanted to ask you, why fire consultancy? And for all the businesses you could go for, why did you choose this?
You are absolutely right in questioning my profession. I remember when I graduated from a place called Akola, which is far from Mumbai, and a very average family that I have been grown up. And when I moved to Mumbai to start my career, I started a career as an intern for a manufacturing company, because I'm a production engineer by qualification, and that's how I began the career in Mumbai with a salary of 1,200 rupees. But I realized in less than 30 days time that that's not my cup of tea. Being a production engineer, being a mechanical engineer, working on a shop floor is not something that it resonates with my DNA. So accidentally I came across through a reference and joined a company called Mathan and Platt, which was a fire protection system integration company in Mumbai. So I would say accidentally when I joined this company, I tried to resonate my nature connecting with the fire protection business. And I can tell you, it was probably a turning moment for me to get this opportunity working with a fire protection company. So when I started that company, I started with a goal that I want to become a salaried man, because that's how you choose a profession. But when you take that profession ahead and when you resonate with your heart, put your heart and soul 200% into the industry, into the service, into the job that you are doing, then whether company A or B doesn't matter, that profession becomes your passion. So that's how when I completed my 20 years of experience working with various companies in India and Middle East, today if you ask me, fire is my DNA. That's how probably I had no choice, or rather no thought other than starting my career in fire and security business, and hence it was my very cautious decision to continue my passion into fire, and that's how we started the consulting organization EastCorp Group in 2013.
So I absolutely agree with the point you mentioned that what resonates with your heart, you put your soul into it. So out of these 12 years of entrepreneurial journey of yours, what gives you the most happiness?
See, we are in the service of fire and security and safety business. So essentially safety. That's our center of the focus.
Right.
Secondly, we are also into the business of solving problems. Safety in today's industry is a big problem, and especially in India as a country. So when you engineer a solution to solve the problem of a safety and creating that environment for any occupants, be it residential, commercial, hotel, hospital, at the end of the day, when you look at that as a business and secondly as a solution, if you change the narrative, you find the happiness there. So it's not just a transaction that I look at personally when I evaluate my business as a business. It's a solution that we are trying to find out, and it's a problem that we are trying to solve for a customer that we are interacting with. And when that person, it could be as a company, as an organization, as a occupant, feels that they are safe by providing what we figured out for them, that gives you kind of a different perspective and inspiration and leads to happiness. So that's a one way part of it, of keeping me as a happy man. Secondly, when I was working for my own, I was probably feeding my family. Today, there are 25 people around you.
Right.
When they come to see you every day to your office, they're actually with you, with their families behind. So when you have that responsibility of taking care of your colleagues that you are working with, and you take that as a responsibility of feeding their families, taking the responsibility of growing their career, making their life, making the difference in their life. And at the end of the day, if those people are feeling proud about it, feeling happy about it, that gives you more happiness than any of the money that can give you. So essentially, I always keep or see my happiness in others. I always feel that if my customer is happy, I feel happy. If my employee, my colleague is happy, I'm going to be better than happy. So that's how my happiness is all about.
I agree to that. I think, not just looking at for yourself, but something doing something more than yourself is very important. How would you say that you stay motivated or focused during this time?
Very good question. In fact, today, because of the social media distraction, because of the mobile and gadget that you are around and living, it's getting more distracted than what it was 20 years back. So for me, if you're organized, if you're planning your day in a organized way, when you know your priorities, your responsibilities, your accountability, it automatically turns that you need to be focused and get back to your priority area. But as you said correctly, it's been very challenging to stay focused, because as an entrepreneur, you are not just doing one job. You are HR, you are operational specialist, you are finance expert, you are sales guy, you are admin guy at times, and you do have to everything what you need to do. So if you have to manage multiple things at a time, keeping those challenges aligned, it's very difficult at times to be focused. But I have developed that habit of stay organized based on the planning that you need to do at the end of day and before starting the day. I always look at things to do. So whether you write it or whether you memorize it, but if you are organized in knowing your priorities and responsibilities very well, I'm sure you can make your day better than yesterday, and that's how you remain focused and you achieve exactly what you want to achieve at the end of the day.
So I'm sure being an entrepreneur is not an easy job. It is a very tough decision that you have to, as you mentioned, that you have to manage a lot of roles. So is there any one particular day that you remember which was your toughest day? And how did you get through it?
In fact, every day for me is a tough day. It's not that like I can memorize any of the toughest day. There were many toughest day, but I always don't get into past. I'm a very futuristic and a positive man. I don't look at. I always learn from my mistakes. Always learn from my any of the error that we do. But if you ask me, at in past, we had lot of challenges in getting people on board.
Yeah.
And today the industry is very, very volatile, I would say, in terms of resources. You're 154 crore janta, but then you don't have right people that you can find them to resonate with your culture, with your expectations and stuff like that. So at many occasions we have had, like for any of the entrepreneur in India, have the similar experiences that you find a guy, you interview them, you recruit them, and all of a sudden you find them that they are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go back to square.
Yeah.
So that is what challenge I used to have in past in the first 10 years, but today I find the way. So I've learned from those mistakes, I've learned from those experiences, and today we have made a system which is more robust, where we don't have that fear of losing people. But we focused on creating a system which is making people happy. Whosoever that we take it full heart. We make sure that they are a family member, and that's how I overcome those challenges what I had in past as a challenge. But today we find the way, and I'm sure we are able to manage our resources very well, and we are adding a lot of resources in every month.
So coming back to your expert field, I also wanted to know if there's any one fire safety myth that you can bust, which is very commonly taken wrong by common people.
I do a lot of training programs as my passion, so it's my favorite word that, especially in our domain, people don't want to spend. People don't want to invest money and resources in having a fire or security systems. Forget about consultant. Getting the system itself is challenging. Or what if they want to spend on a consultant like us? Why? Because most of the people that you see around have never experienced the emergency. And fire is specifically that I'm talking about. And they always call that, or they always carry a myth that 20 साल से कभी हुआ नहीं है, so we are safe. And to respond to them is that if at all you never had incidents in last 20 years, does it mean that tomorrow the fire is going to knock your door and say that I'm coming tomorrow? It's all uncertain. So people do carry a myth that I'm safe because it never have happened in my last 20 years. It doesn't mean that it will not occur next day or tomorrow. That's how our job is to empower, educate people, make them aware, and see that they invest in their safety, whether it could be protecting their property, occupant, or environment. But no more carrying the myth that I'm safe because it never happened in my life.
So you rightly talked about the realization of people after experiencing the fire breakouts, especially in Thane. I've heard of many.
In fact, everywhere, sorry to interrupt you, every accident that occurs, we immediately get a call back and say that now we want to invest it.
I agree.
Whether it's fire, safety, or security, all three dimensions, when people get into that mode of accident, they realize that there has to be safety. So we always take it positively, all those accidents. But yeah, people do realize this after any incidences to invest.
I'm sure they do. And after working with you, they gain more trust with you. And you made EastCorp a very big brand that people trust today. So how did you actually gain that trust?
That's what my belief, that EastCorp is one of the trusted brand today in India, and I feel proud about it. And I always believe people buy from people. That's what my ex-boss used to say when I was in 2004. It's not about transaction. It is all about how you build a relationship, how you build a trust. I still remember my American boss used to compliment me that you have a natural gift of winning trust like this. And that is what maybe my nature, that I connect with the people very, very easily and very quickly.
Maybe you get it from your dad.
Possibly.
His name is Vishwas, right?
Yeah, his name is Vishwas, yes. So trust is something that is very, very vital element as an entrepreneur. Because everything revolves around trust. Be it your colleagues that you are working with, be it customer that you have been working with, be it your partners, be it your vendors, suppliers, all are with you just because they trust you. And that's how we have been building this brand from day one, not looking at a short term. We always look at long term. And that's how at many times we never even look at commercial angle. We just go ahead and help any customer that requires our assistance, our help, or expertise. And I'm glad that we have a lot of relationship beyond businesses. That's how our, I would say, USP in the industry, that we don't measure everything as the monetary way, but we build trust based on the relationship to solve the problems of the industry.
So I do agree that you do build trust with people, but since we are humans, we do make mistakes, right? So I'm sure there have been many mistakes that maybe you have made or maybe the company has made. So what mistakes did you make that turned into your best learning?
I think hiring is the biggest mistake that I'm very weak about it. I still remember I never have interviewed any of my colleagues more than 5 minutes, and that's how I used to make quick decision. But over the period of years, I've realized that's a mistake that I've had, and I've improved because of the experiences that I've got from people. Especially young generation people are not um, so loyal, or I would say uh, uh, they stick to their commitment. So I'm sorry about it. It's not just about young, but this is how I'll talk about it later. How this experience is all. But to answer your question, um, hiring is something that I have made a lot of mistakes in past, and I have learned hard way, and I have improved the robust way of doing it.
So can I ask you a personal question? I have
Sure.
had it in my mind. So if I wanted to be a boss like you, what should I practice 3 things every day?
So I would say 3C formula you can probably apply, which is what I follow. First is clarity. It's very important that what you do should be crystal clear in your mind. Why are you doing it? What you are doing it? I find it this is very common gap amongst youth, and as they grow bigger, the gray area comes, and that becomes an obstacle. So first is clarity. Second is courage. Take courage in deciding what you want to do. Take courage in taking steps. Take courage in improving your day every day, better than yesterday. Unless until you have that courage, you will not be able to grow, and you will remain always in a comfort zone. So take courage in every aspect, in every step that you are doing in any of the role that you are doing. And third, I would say confidence. If you have a courage, if you have a clarity, then comes confidence, because unless until you have that inner conviction which exhibits confidence, the guy sitting in front of you will not have that realization that I'm talking to the right guy. So knowledge gives you that confidence, experiences gives you confidences, clarity gives you confidence, conviction gives you confidence. But that's a characteristics build that confidence. Once you have these 3 C's, I think you can become anybody's boss. Tell you don't necessarily term that as a boss, but people will start loving you.
Okay, so just to make this conversation a little bit more fun and interesting, we're gonna play a rapid fire round. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. You can either answer it in one word or one sentence.
Hope those are not tricky.
No, they are pretty quick and straightforward. Okay, let's start. Tea or coffee?
Coffee,
Early bird or night owl?
night out,
One word for your tea.
army,
Biggest challenge in 12 years?
probably hiring,
Okay. What motivates you every day?
my things to do,
Your proudest moment as CEO?
yet to come.
One business leader you admire?
Steve Jobs.
If not a CEO, what would you be doing?
Probably I would have become a CEO of somebody else's company.
Nice one.
A personality that shaped your thinking?
Narendra Modi.
Work first or family first?
I think both. My wife is not around, but thank you to her. She has been very supportive to me. So definitely I need both.
I'm sure.
Success mantra in one line?
Love what you do and do what you love.
One thing you'll always be grateful for?
My beloved parents.
Your dream for EastCorp in 2030?
Make this company a world-class company by 2030.
Wow. Thank you so much. So that's a wrap for our rapid fire.
Thank you. It was very interesting.
You survived without any fire alarms going off.
So can I ask you some personal questions?
Sure.
What is your secret of balancing business, social life, your family without burning out?
Okay, very tricky question, but I'll try to make it as easy as possible. And I would like to take the examples of two personalities here. One is uh, Narendra Modi, which I always look upon, and the Isha Foundation Guru. So when you differentiate work and life, you will have confusion. You'll always have a confusion, and you get into trap. And it has become a big buzz in the social media, that work life balance. But I always take that as one term. Work is life. So you can always find life in the work,
True.
and you can always find work in the life.
Yeah.
So there is no two different element altogether. They are all complementing to each other. That's number one. Secondly, which I always learn from Mr. Modi, is that when you do a hard work, for a family, do you realize any kind of a stress or pain or nothing? Because you're working for a family, you're so connected. Similar way, when you treat your company as your family, which I used to do that during my first years as well, the work that you do with a pride always give you that satisfying moment, and it never leads to any kind of a stress or pain or any grief.
Yeah.
So when you look at these two theories, I don't think so you have any stress in your life. You always do your work at ease. Doesn't matter you do multitasking. Doesn't matter you're working for 18 hours. And I've been working for 18 hours for many years. And during COVID, I used to sleep hardly for 4-5 hours. And that was my most productive days, I would say, in my career. So, and I never used to feel stressed or burnout. So it's a mindset that you always have, whether you are burned out or stressed or tired. When you have that passion doing what you're doing, when you love what you're doing, I don't think so it leads to any stress or any kind of a feeling of tiredness. You always find happiness, you always find a pleasure in doing what you're doing.
So I want to focus on what you said about work-life balance. So you didn't mention anything about family. So how do you think you balance that side?
Fortunately, my wife is not around, so otherwise she would have been cursing me in answering this question. I've been not so active in giving family time. It's not my intention, but it's my compulsion. But there are two ways of looking at it. Again, it's my theory. Whatever time that is available with you and whatever time that you want to give it to your family, family will be never happy or satisfied in giving that much of time. It's all about quality. It's not about quantity. And when you know that your responsibilities are not just looking after your family, there are extended families around you, then you have to have a compromise. You have to have compulsion of coming from quantity to quality. So even though I was an employee, I had that nature of working, and maybe my nature is becoming more workaholic. So I've been instrumental in only focusing my work as the priority. But then I always been very transparent, very honest in giving quality time, whether it's my kids, whether it's my parents or my wife. I've been always giving 100% to them when I'm with them. That's how my mantra of family and work.
So as we were talking about your family, let's talk about your EastCorp family. So what values do you hope your team remembers you for?
I still have to ask, but I believe they definitely look upon me, not as the CEO, but as a leader. And it's becoming more my responsibility that I exhibit when I'm around with them, that I should give values that they can they can follow upon. But I think it's very confined way of squeezing into one word or one line what values that they are probably looking upon me or taking from me. But it is my always attempt that as a leader you are going to produce more leaders. So I always see that more leaders are created under you, and that's what I've been asking my managers, that they should create a managers under them, so that the leadership, the true spirit of leadership actually gets implemented on ground. So I think the spirit of leadership is something that my team is definitely looking upon me and following on me.
Your team is very lucky to have.
I hope so.
So I'm sure there are many young viewers watching this podcast, and there are young leaders out there who are acing in their career, and some of them maybe they are. So what's the one message you would like to leave them?
I've been always passionate in interacting with young students. I've been giving a lot of lectures on various platforms of societies, connecting with the college students, and I see there's a lot of opportunity exists in India. We are in Amrut Kal. We are in right country to live in and grow. Fortunately, we have 65% of young population exist, which is again a great moment for all of us. But I've seen in today's world, and since you asked me that I should give back to young generation and especially young entrepreneurs, that they always get excited with looking at the escalators. They never have seen staircases. When I'm relating this example, it in true sense is that young generations today are always have ambitions to grow very quick overnight, quick money, quick success, quick healing, everything they want quick, and that's how the level of satisfaction, the frustration, the giving up, the quitting is easy for them as a choice. So for all young entrepreneurs, all I can tell you that there is no shortcut to success. They have to work hard. Unless until they create their foundation very solid, I don't think so. Their success in their career is going to be long lasting. If they want to really succeed in their career, there is no shortcut to success. Hard work is going to be the vital, is going to be the critical element of your life.
I think that's the best advice for the young people out there, and I surely will follow this. So I'm sorry I had to ask you about this coffee table book you have here.
Well,
Very appealing. I had to ask. What is it?
it's very interesting. Thank you that you noticed this and you asked this question. So this was my passionate project. Thank you. It just came into my mind when we celebrated our 10th foundation day last year, and we thought of coming up with an idea that why not we develop our own coffee table book. And that's how this coffee table book was conceived with the support of my team. I worked hard almost for a 6 month, got my family get involved in this shaping up, and it has shaped up very well. Maybe I can send you the copy of this. It's very unique in nature. It doesn't talk about what we do and how we do. It talks about the journey of fire and security, how it is evolved in right from centuries, and it gives you kind of a pictorial representation of how this has been evolved throughout the year and how it was followed during those days. So very, very nice way of putting across the fire safety and security as a concept, and that's how we shared with all our colleagues clients, and they have really appreciated. So this was masterpiece, I would say, for us. And in case anyone wants to have this coffee table book, reach out to us. We'll be happy to share this. And that's what my pet project that was executed, and it's been worked out very well. Thank you for asking.
Is this available for sale somewhere or like?
No, we just give it as a complimentary to our customers for a selected clientele. Yeah.
Right.
So, before we wrap up today, thank you so much for joining. I hope this conversation was very interesting. So, we both are not just interviewers today, we are also his kids. And today, he let us ask all the questions that we always wanted to ask. I hope this was a fun conversation which we had today. And thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay aware. See you next time.
Thank you so much again, all my colleagues, family, clients, well-wishers, friends, for being with us in last 12 years of journey. It has been very, very wonderful and inspiring journey for us. I am sure with your blessings, we are going to grow. Thank you so much, kids, for having me here today. And it was wonderful conversation with you. I'm sure you have learned a lot in today's chat that we had. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much for joining into our special Foundation Way podcast. Stay safe, stay aware. See you next time.
Thank you.